What matters more on Medium, quality or quantity? This is a question I get asked a lot, and unfortunately, most people who ask me are asking because they want to try to somehow game the system. What they're really saying is, if I publish 3 times a month versus 3 times a week versus 3 times a day, which one is more likely to get me to, hit all the magic buttons on that algorithm and have a best-selling article that does so well that Taylor Swift calls me the next day to tell me how good it was because it made it to her newsfeed? The truth is, on Medium, only you can answer the question of whether you should do quality or quantity because it comes down to what it's going to take for you to write good stories. So there are two typical approaches to this that I've seen. First of all, you can have like where I did, where I pretty much wrote every day from the beginning. And I saw that like 1 in every 20 posts or so would do really well. So I was like, all right, awesome. I'll just start writing 60 articles a month instead of 20 and expect 3 times the hits. And obviously that didn't happen. Meanwhile, other people like Amar, from necessity, because he didn't have as much time as I did, he was much more analytical about his stories. He wrote much more methodically. He critically read a lot. That was really crucial. And he only wrote I think 1 story or 2 stories a week at most to really sort of hit the notes that he thought would make him go viral. And that strategy worked well for him as well. So ultimately, it comes down to how much time you have to give. But I wouldn't say that there's any correct answer that's going to make you go viral. All these answers are ultimately going to point you to the exact same thing, which is write as well as you can, as often as you can. But within that, there are a lot of different techniques. So I wanted to create this little introduction for a video that I recently recorded with 3 of my writing friends. If you've watched a lot of my channel, you'll already know them. Mike Thompson, I interviewed him because he averaged 30,000 views per article last year. Sinem who in 2020 was the 7th most popular and successful writer on Medium. I know. And third, Amardeep Parmar, who made $4,000 in just his 7th month on Medium. He started in January 2020. And we all kind of we made a whole video discussing what strategy overall, how should beginners work on Medium? And this is one of the questions that comes up the most. Should I try to write every day, or should I spend more time focusing on fewer pieces? And we all came to it with such different perspectives and such different experiences. And I wanted to share a snippet of that recording with you, my YouTube channel. The full recording is available for anybody who subscribes to our Substack. But the short video, that section where we're discussing publishing frequencies, I wanted to share with you right here, right now. So hopefully you'll enjoy this and you'll learn something. If you've got any questions, of course, let me know.
When I started, I was publishing every day, sometimes twice a day. As a beginner, I needed that because I needed the reps to get better at writing.
When I started taking Medium seriously exactly a year ago, I also published every day. I have written and submitted every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that it was super important for my practice and for my learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a lot of people start on Medium with 0 writing experience. If that's the case, I would recommend writing as much as you can, just to get that practice in, because that's the only way you're going to get better. But not because you think the algorithm will pay off or work in your favor if you submit or publish every day. So I would definitely do it like that again, writing a lot, publishing a lot, because it also gives you the data to validate what works and what doesn't work. You can try out different publications, etc. And it would have taken me a lot longer time to understand what works if I didn't have 100 articles published in 3 months. You need to be aware that you have a lot to learn, so you need to be coachable. When you start out, you need to be aware that there's a lot that you don't know yet. And at the same time, I think it's super important to believe that you deserve great results and that you can have great results.
So I guess I've got the different side there of where, after a year, I haven't written 100 articles yet. I'm only at 75-ish. But I guess one way you can do it without having to do as many reps in a way is and I think this is one of the things I tell new writers to do, is read other people's pieces critically, as if you were editing them. Read it and it's are they using too many short sentences? Does this feel clunky? Because if you read everything and you love it, you probably haven't got the skills to be able to write well, because you can't love every piece of writing. You've got to be able to see okay, this piece doesn't work because of this. And even in my own pieces, if I look back a couple of months, I think, why did I do it that way for? That doesn't make sense. So I don't like this sentence.
I took the Amar route where it took, I think my goal still is just one article a week. I had clients in a certain demographic for business stuff, and I couldn't just throw up stuff that wasn't good. So I kind of had that pressure on like myself of like, hey, if I'm going to write an article on how to be confident, it's going to be like the best article on the internet. And I would like take a week, and some of like the ideas have been said, like, but how I said it, like that thought process of like, how am I going to like separate this from everything else, forced me to kind of like look at what people weren't writing. Like for business stuff, it's like personal stories. Like the first thing that just popped out was it was all just like robots. And I was like, well, if I can take these tips that everybody knows, but in a personable way, it helps. But for me with 2 kids, like my situation is like, I don't want to have expectations of every day. That's not going to happen. So I'm just going to be angry. Yeah. So it is just like one a week. I can do it. I've done it for 4 years. It's the only habit I've ever done that I've actually stuck with. And I think it is like, because I didn't have this like monster pressure of it has to be all the time. And with a week too, if you start one on Monday and it's pretty good, like if you stick with that for a week, like you're going to have a good article, and it like doesn't have to go viral on Medium for it to benefit you.
So that was the video. As you can see, everyone has their different techniques of what strategy of frequency over quality worked best for them. And these things evolve as well over time as you try different things, as you run out of time or have more time. I'd love to hear which strategy you preferred out of the 4 of us. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, have a great weekend. It's Tuesday. Have a great week, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Happy writing. Bye.